Hi there, I'm Amanda with Amanda Energy. This is a quick tip on a pose breakdown for runner's lunge. I've got three main tips for you today to make this pose a little more comfortable and more effective in your body. Let's jump right in. So creating that runner's lunge, you have 1 foot forward, 1 leg back, front knee is bent, and hands usually frame the front foot. The first tip is about that knee. A lot of times people get really excited and have the knee far past the ankle. This is actually really tough on your ligaments because the knee is now straining not to collapse forward in gravity. So it's much more effective to keep your knee directly over ankle so the force of your weight can go down into the earth. And it just helps save those knee ligaments because while you can do something 1,000 times, 10,000 times, you really don't want to over push it and injure your knee. They're pretty hard to heal. So tip 1, keep that knee right over ankle. Tip number 2 has to do with the distance between your feet. A lot of times when we step into this pose, we end up on a balance beam, like our heels are on the same line. I'll show you with the edge of my mat as well. And although that can be interesting for the pelvic area, I find it's hard to keep balance. You end up relying on your hands more, and you've actually got your knee, instead of in alignment with your hip, it's drifted towards midline and is making the outer hip work a lot harder than it needs to. We want to work with the design of our body. So the simple fix for that is use your eyes, glance down. If you're on a balance beam instead of train tracks, heel toe your front foot out to the side or step that back foot off to the side a little bit, finding a little bit of space between them. You're not as wide as your mat, but you're not on a straight line. So that's tip number 2. Final tip for this pose. I often see people trying to get as deep as they can through this hip, this lowering hip, my left hip. And that is problematic for a couple of reasons. One, the ligament that connects your pelvis to your femur is a ligament. It is not a muscle. We don't actually want to overstretch it because it doesn't respond the same way that muscles do. What we're looking for in a runner's lunge pose is a sense of opening the front leg, yes, but also creating strength and blood flow. So rather than trying to go deep and say, get that thigh parallel to the earth, press down into front heel, lift up out of back thigh, and let your pelvis be light. You'll keep a little hinge at that ligament, keeping it safe. You'll start working the hamstring and glute on that bent leg, and you actually will still be lengthening the quad muscle here with a press of heel up and slightly back. So that allows you to get all the full expression of that pose without potentially injuring yourself or throwing your back off because everything moves upstream. So to review, my 3 quick tips for your runner's lunge. Have your feet train tracks apart. Keep your front knee right over the ankle, not past, and allow your back thigh to lift you up instead of sinking down. Create buoyancy and work. This does apply whether your heart is up, hands are on the earth, or hands are to the sky. All of those make sense together. All right, thank you so much. This has been a quick tip from Amanda Energy. I hope you have a great day.